It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the why. Everything'll be just fine. Everything'll be alright, alright. I still remember watching Bathroom Nightmares as a child. It was a 1970s television sitcom on the Learning Channel about a man named Gordon Ramsay who shit on hamburgers and feed them to Center City pigeons. Oh, of course, no one but me remembers that show anymore. Probably because y'all switched over from CRT TVs. I bet you've heard of the 1990s spin-off Kitchen Nightmares, though. Starring Gordon Ramsay Jr., everyone is in the know about the show. So why did I ask you to begin with? I secretly believe that I am made out of glass. There was an episode that was banned from the airwaves for being too disjointed, wrongfully unorthodox, or just downright offensive by Fathers Against Rude Television. I can speak for myself, however. My name is Johnny Goodwill, and I used to manage a Goodwill. One day, a customer who smelled like genital warts and catnip stopped by and traded in a random VHS tape for 3.5 cents. I figured it was one of those 1990s Hollywood film blockbusts like Jurassic Park, Independence Day, or Silence of the Lambs, just to name a few. Since I remembered owning a VCR for about 2 decades, give or take some change. Well, as you may have guessed, it was something else. Oh, I still remember the impact it had on me because of what it said in the slipcase side in italicized impact font. The Kitchen Nightmares, the never-before-seen lost episode. There was an additional subtitle adjoining said lost episode. World-renowned chef Gordon Ramsay goes berserk, befriends a talking cat, and pisses about Jack Sprat for not eating any fat. If you watch this, you'll see. Till they take your eyes. Well, shucks, I stole $2.42 out of the register to purchase the tape. I jacked open the cash drawer using my keys, which was only fitting because they were my car keys, and I decided to neglect the rest of my daily responsibilities and go home and watch the tape. I plugged the tape into my VCR before realizing that was not where the butt plug goes and turned on the TV. Remember my secret decoder ring? By the time the tape began, my anticipation for a contemporary television classic fell flatter than the new Coke. The episode started with Gordon Ramsay looking at the camera describing to us, the viewers at home, what his endeavors for the day were about to be. He was much more unkempt than I remembered him back on Bathroom Nightmares when he used to wear a tuxedo and floss. He chit-chats to the audience about the restaurant he's headed to next, but it seems a little strange. He sounded far too aggressive, as if he was speaking fast while shouting as loud as he could, and I swear I could hear the sounds of chattering novelty teeth going on in the background. His head exploded and then regrew, and then... Oh, well, he said it. It was frightening. He talked about going to a mysterious restaurant located at the NYC WTC, monikered as Bush's Diner Inn, all-you-can-eat cafefe. At this point, I knew I was in for a long haul. I was scared. I hugged and otherwise gently caressed my Al Funko Pop and Chesterton teddy bear. The intro played next, but the audio was suddenly interrupted by Ramsay rambling about Jeff Bezos, OxyClean-related bloodstains, and a new world order. The ramble became quicker and louder to the point that none of it represented English-language syllables. I could have sworn the beated rhythm resembled Eminem's Rap God, though. Well, coincidentally, there was a glimpse of Gordon Ramsay, looking like Max Headroom. That is, from the 1987 televised incident with some stranger disguised themselves as Max Headroom and floated around in an ominous background with distorted audio. It was like Mr. Ramsay knew something that we, the viewing audience, simply did not know. Perhaps we'd never know. Perhaps we couldn't know. After the shocking all-of-a-sudden intro, the meat and potatoes of Kitchen Nightmares, no pun intended, I ain't a stand-up comedian, I sure as hell ain't no holla back girl, began with Mr. Ramsay lecturing the following. Tiananmen Square was a real deal. It is I, Chef Dr. Gordon Ramsay, here in New York City, New York, to deliver you the shocking proof. It is now that I will show you, the viewer, proof that Houdini was punched in the chest by a circus midget, here at New York City. We will now take you inside one of the Twin Towers to show you a dining place known as Bush's Diner Inn, famous for its delightful goat. I will prove all of you fuckers that tragedies are nothing more than inside jobs. Somebody's an alien. What a shitload of fuck. This was terrifying. Mr. Gordon Ramsay preaching about government conspiracy theories? This was Kitchen Nightmares. Like, since when did he turn into an Anglo-y, delicious Alex Jones? I'll turn those frickin' frogs gay. When El Gordo walks into one of the Twin Towers, you can see raining spaghetti as he takes a bite of the pasta. You could say that it tastes a little bit, disheveled. Ramsay winked into the camera at me, presumably because he has some sort of English winking disease. Well, I wasn't even laughing. The next scene, his eyes became bloodshot as we heard what sounded like John Cleese yelling, "It's a scary spaghetti!" Sure, what the hell, why not? The camera pans into Gordon Shumway's eyes in the most discomforting way possible. It was like Aeon Flux given the blinking eye look, but a lot more chaotic, and trust me, the last episode of Aeon Flux is much more mortifying. Like, I'm not falling for this. I'm not falling down. I don't dig and or bury myself everything that I am. During Ramsay's walk, I could see some guy who looked like Buckethead with his KFC bucket stuck in his head, running around naked while singing Guns N' Roses' Shackler's Revenge out loud with the lyrics adjusted to resemble a serial killer suffocating his victim in elbow-fried chicken grease. And there were distorted sounds of ominous organ, a snippet of Catching Ghosts from the Luigi's Mansion game. Hope Nintendo got their royalties. After all of that, the scene abruptly cuts back to normal like all of this never happened. Gordon finally arrives at Bush's Diner Inn. United States President George W. Bush, yes, the real one, reveals himself as being the owner of the restaurant, and he offers him a taste of the United Burger, filled with country goodness and green pea bacteria, the actual ingredients for pain. He tasted it, and then he faints. The sound of an explosion can be heard straight out of nowhere. Shocking enough, it was actually located a few doors from my apartment. Oh my God. Tiananmen Square, it is under attack. Finally, Gordon Ramsay kicked the door to my apartment down and ran up to me and asked if there was any good reason why I was watching the lost episode. Wait, Gordon? You? I was puzzled. All of this was actually happening while I was watching the tape? He then asked, how was the pie? I don't remember baking a pie. I don't even remember going to the store to buy some fresh-baked apple pie. No, sir, that totally wasn't me. Wait a minute, I thought to myself. How does he know about my pies? Don't bullshit around, Tony, if that's your real name. How did he know my name was Anthony? Not related to Tony Soprano, but Anthony Johnny Goodwill Fantano, the internet's busiest music nerd. Does he know me? Tried to fit the puzzles in my head, and then it all clicked. Like a funky, fresh beaten rhyme over a new metal guitar lick. It turned out that Gordon Ramsay used to be a grocery store clerk that I worked with a long time ago. For years he'd wanted to know what the pie tasted like because he could never afford one. He explained the reason why he had success as a reality TV show chef and how he ended up becoming a conspiracy theorist in the one episode that I was watching at that moment. He then concluded by asking me a favor. Can I have a piece of that delicious apple pie? It all hit me. It all hit me. It all hit me. It all hit me. I had the apple pie locked away in my abandoned fridge from years and years ago when I was still a customer service representative at Publix. I tried finding it, and sheer luck, the fridge was covered in cobwebs in a corner of my basement. I gave him the pie, and he took a bite. Now, how's the pie? I asked him. The answer? The answer. Oh, the answer? Oh, it was like eating a Taco Bell breakfast burrito from a Taco Bell location located at the Tiananmen Square Towers. Okay. The end?